joining us for another session of the Entourage Hour. I'm your host, Damon, and joining me is my co-host, the First Lady of E&E, the
First
lovely
Lady.
That's right. We bring you a weekly broadcast that showcases local talent while discussing relevant issues that affect society. All right, First Lady, let's know what's on the plate for tonight.
All right, y'all, we've got some special guests in mind tonight. We've got some DMV artists locally here that we're going to be interviewing, and our hot topic of the week tonight is going to be marijuana, the legalization of it, the pros and cons, and we want to hear from you. Make sure you follow us on our Twitter page at the Entourage Hour. That's at Entourage E&E on Twitter, so you can follow along with the discussion, give your opinions, your views, and we want to hear from you.
We want to know what you think, people. Let us know.
All right.
The topic of the legalization of marijuana is a hot topic since the two states, Colorado and Washington State have legalized. You have the results from that 6 months later. And there are more impacts to this than just simply legalizing weed for recreational use. Currently, right now, we have a prison system that's overcrowded and that has 2.2 million people in it. Half of them are there, 50% of them are there, for non-violent drug offenses. What do you think about this, Ms. Hazel?
Well, personally, I do agree with that in the sense of the fact that we have the prisons overcrowded with people going to jail for nonviolent crimes like selling or distributing marijuana. Or even using, getting caught with it, whatever
Right.
you may have. And in essence, we have more things that we could be doing with these people in society, because once they get out and they try to reacclimate into society, you find problems because of the fact that you have that history, that past of being locked up, the negative the negative connotations that come along with that for something that is a recreational use. It's a medicinal use drug.
Right.
It's not a harsh drug that people are, robbing people, shooting people, stabbing people
Right.
over. So we want to kind of just explore both sides of this element with the legalization of marijuana. And you tell us what y'all think.
Let me just chime in right quick before we go to our artists and our talent right here. I personally think that drug use as a whole, not just marijuana, is a social issue. It's not a criminal issue. It is a social issue. If you look at countries like, Amsterdam and such, where it's totally legal over there, they have very little crime associated with drugs. So the notion that somehow if you lock up everyone who's using drugs or involved with drugs, you'll somehow make society safer, I think is a fallacy, personally. Our two guests tonight, Young Boss.
We've got DC's own Young Boss here, and he's representing Say No More Entertainment. I'm going to go ahead and let him introduce himself and tell the fans who he is and what he's here to do.
If y'all don't know, y'all should know by now, man. Y'all know me, YB, aka the Term King of DMV, Young Boss, representing Say No More, that's SNL.
Okay.
And all I do is represent myself and the DMV, that's it.
I like it.
Okay, so Young Boss, tell me, who are your musical influences and what would you associate your style with?
What's your
listeners?
perspective? That's what we do. What's your music perspective?
It's funny because every time I do an interview and they ask me this, it's crazy because I say myself. Because right now, like as of now, I hate the music that's out.
I can understand that.
I'm being honest with you, I really hate the music that's out. I'm
like
turn
that.
the radio on.
Right.
I'd rather listen to R&B than listen to the bullshit that's out.
Right.
So, but before then, of course, Tupac, Biggie, Jay-Z. Before 5-6 years ago, it was Lil Wayne.
So hold on. So you're more like how we feel, and we used to love music a lot more before we felt like kind of devolved into this big commercial scam that it is right now.
If you want to call it a commercial scam, then you can call it that.
Well, hold on. You give us your opinion. What do you think it is?
I just call it lullabies.
Okay.
So what is it that turns you off about it?
Because none of it makes sense. Everybody making up their own words. It's no vision. Like, you can't picture or understand what they're saying. Like,
exactly.
If I can't put myself in that scenario, then why the hell I'm going to listen to it? You know
exactly.
Like, okay, the beat might go, but damn, you know what I'm saying? What you saying? I don't understand nothing you saying.
I don't understand your message. I don't understand what you're saying.
Chicken and mayonnaise. Like, I can't eat that shit.
Right.
I'm being for real. Like, that shit don't make no sense.
Why make a song about it? I don't even understand the purpose for it. It serves no purpose to me.
That's just me.
Okay, so in your quest and what your personal venture is in the game, what type of artist would you classify yourself as, and what type of fans are you looking for to gravitate towards you?
I classify myself as the artist that you want to be. If you're an artist, I classify myself as the person that you want to be. So I speak upon the people that, you know what I'm saying, that's in society. So whatever you go through, if I went through it, I'm going to speak about it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if I wake up.
So your music reflects your personal experiences and your personal take on life.
Yeah, if I got to wake up and drink sugar and water, that's what I'm going to talk about.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's just that.
You know, and I got a problem with so many of these artists that come out, and I've said this before. I sit on the show, you guys have heard me complain about it, and I like to be entertained. I think the whole purpose of music or anything entertainment is to be entertained. Exactly. But I do have a problem with people who fabricate all this crazy shit and they just put it out there like it's theirs, and then you have a younger generation or even, you know, same age generation, whatever, who hear it and somehow they assume that, oh yeah, that's that life. I have to live that life. See, and this person's not even living that life.
You get it misconstrued. It's not about what you say. It's about how you say it.
Okay.
You can say your ABCs in a rap and it sound good as shit because the way you entertain it, the way you emphasize it.
It's the wordplay.
Yeah. It's your style, it's your flavor.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Wayne can say whatever the hell he want to say, and somebody else say it don't sound right.
It don't sound right, exactly.
It's all about what you know what I'm saying? It's all about how you say it, the swag you put behind it.
Yeah.
That's where everybody fall in line. Everybody want to be followers. You know what I'm saying? DC got this thought shit going on and all this.
I still don't even know
Tell
what that
me
means.
about
What is
it.
a thought? What is a thought? I'm sorry. I hate to show my age here, but I don't even know what that means. What is a thought?
To be honest, I don't know.
Describe a thought. Like, what does it stand for? THOT. What does it mean?
Hold on, we got some people over in the background over here. Come on over. Get on the mic.
I'm
All right.
scared.
Come on over here. Get on the mic. Don't be afraid.
Absolutely.
Don't be scared.
There you go.
I guess they gonna
Hello.
say bad shit.
Get on this one right
There you
here.
go. Sit down. Have a seat. Explain. Enlighten me, please.
First of all, who are you? And we would like to introduce you to the show.
Oh, how you doing, everybody?
Okay.
My name is Twin, you know, from Uptown. That's
Welcome to
my
my
side.
All right.
So, thought means that hoe over there, just so y'all know.
Oh, that hole over there.
There you go.
Oh, okay. You opened up a whole new world to me. I had no idea what it even meant.
Yeah, that's
I just
right.
saw people sharing on, you know, Facebook and calling people thoughts, and I had no idea. I was like,
Yeah,
they saying hi and smelling it. or-
This is what I'm trying to understand. Just how like Beyonce came up with Bootylicious, ain't nobody understand that. Where
Right.
did Thought come from? Thought ain't come from DC. Thought
Right.
came from somewhere else. So why we using somebody else's term? DC had their own style, had their own swag. We got go-go. Everybody else ain't got that. So why you gonna sweat somebody else's style?
Right.
Thought. The fuck is thought? Thought the honest. Thought
Right.
the nigga speaking another language. Now I see like I got French. Thought the honest. Thought. Shit sound dumb.
I feel like communication is a huge part of the human experience, and I think that not just, you know, as black people, just as young people in general, they lack the skills to communicate. The thought problem that you're talking about is, like you said, it's like they speak in French. I hear someone talking to me, I have no idea what you're saying. I have no idea what you're trying to tell me.
Okay, so Young Boss, I got a question. With your music, do you feel that you're relevant to the DC or the DMV scene, or do you want to be set aside from that and, you know, establish yourself as your own artist?
And you know me better than a lot of people know me. Like I'm cocky and facetious at the same time, but you know I'm humble. So I feel as though I'm more than relevant. You know, because I'm gonna talk about what you want to hear me talk about. I'm gonna talk about what you don't want to hear me talk about. Why? Because that's what I live and that's what I go through. So you talk about pack, I smoke that.
Mm-hmm.
But guess what? I'm gonna put it in a positive and negative way, but I'm gonna make the music sound good.
Okay, well, going back to that pack and the thought and the positive and the negative aspects, since tonight's topic is the legalization of marijuana, the pros and cons, how about you give us your standpoint, the pros
Where
or
do
the
you stand?
cons?
I stand on both sides, to be honest with you.
And tell us why.
Because I mean, it's the same the way it's going to be. Me personally, I'm gonna speak for myself, nobody else.
Right.
You know, I'ma still do me. I'm gonna go out on my porch and I'm gonna smoke and do me. You know what I'm saying? But the negative is our generation. I'm gonna speak for myself. Our generation is gonna go out there and smoke in front of people's faces just because they know it's legal, and that's that inconsiderate bullshit. You know what I'm saying? That shouldn't even be done.
Let me ask you.
They feel as though they can blow it in people's face just because it's legal.
Just
No,
because.
you don't need.
Let me ask this question. You're not talking about the underage because it's illegal to sell to anyone who's under 21. So you're just talking about people in general, right? Not even just underage people. People in general. So let me ask you this. At one point, alcohol was illegal, and there's still laws that regulate where you can do, and you know you can't do it while you're driving. You can't sit up there. I can't go outside right now and go drink without being pressed out by the police or, you know, receiving a summons of some kind or a citation. So what's the difference between, say, the guidelines on alcohol and where you can use it versus the difference of marijuana where you can use it. Say that the law is as it is now. You can't use it while you're driving. You can't be underage
Not
use.
set in yet.
Was not?
That's because the guidelines not set in yet. Trust me, they coming.
Well,
There were
we have-
guidelines in place when marijuana was legal. You know, before alcohol during the prohibition period, there were guidelines in place where marijuana was, you know, it was a regular use thing. You know, it wasn't until someone demonized it, and when you had President Nixon that came into office with the war on drugs, that people started getting the stance on all drugs. It didn't matter whether it was marijuana, heroin, cocaine,
Right.
whatever the case may be, but they gave that negative association with it. And the facts have been proven. People, nonviolent crimes based off of people using marijuana versus people drinking alcohol, doing harsh drugs like heroin, cocaine, etc., things like that, you don't see the same numbers with marijuana. People want to use marijuana and give the excuse of the gateway theory, saying that, you
The
know,
study
people
that
that
doesn't show
smoke,
that.
saying that people that smoke marijuana end up graduating onto harsher drugs.
And with the
That
study
has not
doesn't
been
show it.
proven.
Exactly.
That has not been proven. So,
Exactly.
what do you think about that, YB? As far as, do you think marijuana opens the door for people to go into harsher drugs, or do you think those people already had a predisposition to
Right.
go into those harder drugs? Like people that come from a background, you might have had, you know, family
You may
that
have
was
a trait
addicted
for
to alcoholism,
addiction in
or
general.
you know, whatever.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, to me personally, it doesn't open or close the door because you're going to smoke and do what you want as a person.
Personally, absolutely,
You know,
I agree with you
You know,
100%.
you got people out here that make 6 figures a year and do cocaine.
Right.
And you don't,
They still
don't hear
function.
about it. You don't know about it. You know what I'm saying? Exactly.
And they still function. Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because they know how to control their substance.
Mm-hmm.
So weed is not going to open or close the door. It's just
You
what
either,
do
so you
with
basically
it.
saying you either can handle your shit or not.
Yeah, see, weed, what people fail to realize, weed is for the lower, you know what I'm saying, community. It's for the people that's poor. Because
Right.
that's what we can afford.
Right.
That's what we use to get high.
Right.
Instead of cocaine, we know we ain't going to cheat ourselves or nothing else. We're going to smoke that.
Right.
And that's what we choose to smoke. So guess what? We can't get a job. We can't function.
Exactly.
We can't go to school. So
Well,
that's what we're going to do.
we do have 6 months of data from Colorado and Washington State. And from that 6 months of data, they've done over 30, sting operations trying to find them selling drugs to underage, people. And none of them have come up with anything. In fact, Colorado in the last 6 months, they've gained like 220
Revenue
million
alone,
revenue,
yes.
$220 million.
So they need to do a study on me. Give me a test. That shit right now.
Okay, so I got another question then. Now that DC has legalized recreational use of marijuana, what do you think that is going to hold in store for this
The impact
the
on
nation's
society.
capital in general?
Mm-hmm.
To be honest,
Absolutely.
more violence.
You think so?
Because our generation can't get money the way they're supposed to, because first of all, we can't even get jobs as it is in society,
Right.
because who's moving in? And you know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to be disrespectful or racist, because
Right.
the white people that's coming in. You
Right.
know, black people can't get jobs, so we do what? We sell drugs. We go to, you know what I'm saying, selling weed. We gonna get legal in Walmart, so now people gotta pay taxes for it. Damn, I can't sell weed now, so what else I'm gonna sell? I'm not gonna sell coke, because that's gonna give me 15 to 20 years. So now look, it's all it's gonna do is cause violence. So everybody now,
It's competition.
Look at the past 6 months. I don't know, but I can
Right.
guarantee you, robbery done went up. I can guarantee you that.
Actually,
without looking at
like
it.
I said, when you look at the data from Colorado and from Washington State, their crime has gone down.
Yeah.
Their violence, all that has gone down. It has all decreased. It hasn't gone in the other way. And I would like to just throw this out there. If you have 2.2 million people in jail, half of them, which is 1.1 million, are there for non-violent drug offenses, the majority of which is marijuana. I'm sorry, but I personally think those people were able to come home, you would fix a lot more problems than you would create. Because you have a lot of people who spending time behind bars now in an overcrowded penal system that don't belong there. And then all you're doing is making them better criminals.
I mean, I think it all depends on where you are, too, at the same time. 'Cause
Right.
Washington State is nothing like this place. right here.
There's
The
that
demographics of the people,
Right.
yeah, that's a good point.
But I tell you one thing, I can't drive around Berry Farms
That's a
and
very
live
good point.
there with a BMW and think I'm gonna get out and give everybody a pack of weed and not get robbed.
Right.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Absolutely.
But guess what? In Washington State, you can do that.
Yeah.
You can go down there with, you know what I'm saying, a Burberry fur
Actually,
on,
not
you know what I'm
even
saying?
not, Washington State. I agree. No. He's 100% right. Washington State, that's true. Colorado's a little bit of different animal. That's why I brought up both of the states. Colorado, they don't see, because I mean, a lot of people don't realize we were the reign and murder capital for a long period of time throughout the 90s. Okay, we held the crown. Like what you see now in Chicago, you're just getting started. Okay. I'm sorry, no offense to everybody who's going through violence in Chicago. Don't take it the wrong way. It's just that we have been through it before, and when we telling you, you're just entering this phase. Okay,
I agree.
It's just starting. Just give it time. You have to let it die down.
All right, well, I want to get back to our artists that we have here, and we also have someone else that I'd like to introduce. This is Super Dave, and I'm going to let him kind of tell our viewers who he is, and he's going to be our hometown hero for tonight. So
Rekilling hometown heroes, absolutely.
The hometown hero are people that are locally doing things on the scene, whether, doing events, helping people, charitable organizations, politicians, public servants, whatever that's, doing something positive in the community. So I always like to have a voice of positivity in that aspect, just to kind of reflect that not everything that's going on in, our sphere of influence is always a negative thing. We do have people that are doing stuff. So
I'm trying to do good.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
So Super Dave, why don't you tell everybody who you are and
I love that
what you
name.
represent?
Thank you.
Love it.
I don't know if I'm a hero, but I'm Super Dave. I've been around the city for a while. Put out a couple of CDs, and right now I'm just managing. I'm managing Young Boss, one of the most electrifying artists I've ever seen. Real proud of what he's done, been able to accomplish in the short time that we've been working together. Other than that, just trying to uplift and move the city forward any way I can. I'm promoting a couple of different things. Some of the artists that I work with are doing, like I was talking to you all about, the DMV Soul Carolers, which is a caroling group that's going around doing Christmas carols at hospitals and, different events to just try to uplift the mood of the city. Everything is like, for a long time,
Christmas
like
is depressing. Christmas is depressing.
So
the high suicide rates,
Exactly.
it's depressing. Holidays are depressing.
Yeah,
So any light you can shed on that is good. So you guys go around and you carol like just regular like song like Silent Night type,
Yeah, they do it. I mean, they add a little soul twist to it.
Right.
But yeah, that's basically what they do. And right now they have a few events coming up, which I'll go into more later. But yeah, that's
And how is this generally received? I mean, you go and carol, because I mean, like I've never seen a caroler, to be honest with you.
Oh, really?
They're
not like
either.
Right, so I mean,
walking the
you looked
streets,
at like
though.
the whole
Do they
witness,
show up?
everybody
Yeah,
singing,
do they
things
show
like
up
that.
on
show up
door
at people's door. We can't do that anymore.
Right, I was gonna say, not put out the lights when you're coming and hide behind the couch or
Nah,
what?
nothing like. I mean, they do more like I say, hospitals, corporate events, things like that, and and it's a very entertaining, performance that they put on. So it's received really well.
Okay. It sounds very uplifting.
Yeah.
And Super Dave, about your management company, can you tell us a little about the company and the name of the company?
Yes.
How long y'all been together? A little bio.
Yeah, Super Incredible Music is the name of the company, and it just came out of me seeing a lot that was going on in the city in the time where people weren't getting represented right, and myself being an artist at the time was seeing that just things weren't going, in a positive way for the city. So I decided to,
artists in the
instead
city,
of just
right?
talking about, instead of just talking about it, why not do it
Change
myself?
it.
So
I love that.
Decided to make
Instead of
moves
complaining,
and,
do something.
Yeah, and happened to come in touch with Young Boss and a couple of other artists that are,
So when did you guys meet?
Artists. Actually, what was it, 2 years ago? His grandfather lived next door to me, and so he moved in about 3 years ago.
A neighbor.
And just off the humble, met him, and I was doing my thing, and he heard some stuff because his cousin does some stuff, and I work with him, and I heard him spit. It was like, we need to work.
So
and,
how long have you been doing music by this point when you finally met Dave?
Today make 10 years.
Oh, 2 years?
10 years.
10 years you were doing it before you even met Dave?
Yeah, I mean, before I met him, 8 years. So.
Okay, so 10 years in total, basically.
10 years
But before him, okay, all right.
I mean, it's been 8 years before I met him because, I had my situations in and out, trouble, just not focused on music.
Okay.
Like I said, when I met him, I became like more focused.
So you weren't basically serious about your craft when you initially you were doing it. You were doing it, but your heart wasn't all the way into it. What you're telling me?
Yeah, I can say that.
Okay.
Basically.
And so when you met him, was he like a laser? He focused that that all that talent and all that.
I mean,
drive?
I can say that, but it was so much of is he caught me at the right time. It's like everything.
Timing is everything, ain't it?
Exactly.
Like
Definitely.
It's everything.
grew. You know what I'm saying? I went through everything I had to go through. You know what I'm saying? To see the streets, the jail, and everything.
So he caught you at the right stage, the right stage in your life where you was receptible to
It's not that he called me, like we called each other. At the
Yeah,
right
yeah,
That's
I
me.
want
Right.
to definitely put it out there. It's
Right.
like, you know, I mean, people ask me like, I mean, I try to mentor as much as I can, but with the relationship that this dude have, it's like we mentor each other. Like
give
it
and
was
take.
a lot of it was a lot of things that I was lacking, and you know, some stuff that he was lacking too, and we kind of balanced each other. Like we
It's
had
a
never made
beneficial
it.
relationship.
Yeah,
You were able
yeah,
to get,
the
all
level
right,
that we
all
were
right.
able to reach together was far beyond what we
labeled.
were.
You could do alone.
Yeah,
It's labeled
yeah.
on
So
there.
One thing I respect, and one thing, Young Boss, like I never had a chance to really express this to him. We had a conversation a few months ago, the last time I seen him actually, and we were talking about, you know, artists and relationships to how they put their or promote their craft on YouTube and things like that. And he made a very, very genuine statement to me about, you know, artists that get genuine organic views versus people that have those socially driven engines where you're just getting, you know, you pay $20 and have 700 tweets or, you know, something like that.
Right,
Can you
right,
speak
right.
a little bit about that, about why you choose to stick with organic viewers, organic fans, and, you know, just in general in relationship to your music?
I mean, I shouldn't really have to speak on it because everybody should feel the same way I feel. You should have to work for what you did. Like this is not just a hobby. This is my life.
Exactly.
Like people don't understand.
For
Like I quit my
everything how
job
Asians entertain.
Right.
a year ago just to do
So,
this. Like
just
I didn't
tell
know
them
where
about
the
this shit.
income
Who
was
cares?
gonna come from. I got a daughter I have to raise. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I do this.
Right.
So I'm not gonna sit there and spend $20 for somebody to promote my music, and I'm not gonna get out there. That $20 that I spent for 10 months is $200.
Right.
So that $200 for 20 months is $400.
Right.
Then my daughter can have Pampers and wipes and all that stuff, and guess what? I'm still not gonna be a musician, an artist, or whatever you want to call it.
And won't
So
be
guess
where
what?
you
I'd
wanna
rather
be.
work hard for what I gotta get or where I don't get. You know what
I
I'm
love
saying?
that. You make
So
your own
that's
thing.
what I do.
I love that mentality.
Because whoever likes your music or hates your music, they sit there and took the time out to look at your
Exactly.
music. So
Right.
you take that positive or that negative and you revolve, because that's how I made my single. I took all the negatives and that's who I became today. I took all the negatives.
I like that.
All
A
right.
lot of people have a problem with constructive criticism. I mean, not just artists in general, but you know, people in general. When you tell someone, I don't like the way you're doing this, I don't like the way you're
Defense
doing
mode.
that. Everybody hits defense mode. Yeah, defense mode. Everything, they feel like they're being attacked, so they then in turn attack you or whatever. That is a great
Yeah,
outlook.
it just
to
takes
have.
it takes a certain level of maturity to be
Right.
able to turn what people
I'm
say
gonna
to
say,
you
I ain't
into a
never
learning
like it. I'm gonna
process.
tell you that one. I'm gonna say he know I don't like it till today, but to be honest with you, it is what it is.
It
Right.
helps you
You know
grow.
what I'm saying?
It
Yeah,
helps
it
you
Right.
grow.
does.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? I hate somebody telling me. I hate losing. To be honest with you.
Right.
On first, second, third place, I bet not ever come in third place. Ever. You know what I'm saying? But if I do, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is, because I'm going to take that, okay, whatever they like,
The learning experience.
that's what I'm going to put in my next song or next video or next whatever I got to do to make it into that, you know what I'm saying, that first, second, or third.
That's a simple
And-
marketing
and-
savvy that a lot of people don't got, that they don't have.
And while we
Absolutely.
on it, the WoW video is on YouTube right now. Go check it out. Type in Young Boss WoW. We about to reach 1,000 views this
Okay.
weekend. Yeah, so we
Over this weekend, because I checked it
it's like-
last night or the night before, and y'all were already at 900
Yeah.
on just that song
it's like
alone,
950 something.
Oh, you trending the right way then?
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Okay.
trying to make it move. So yeah, check it
Maybe
out.
at 1,000 for the weekend.
Get the
now.
numbers up. you
Well,
know.
can y'all tell the fans where they can find you at? Actually, before you tell the fans where they can find you at, tell the fans what you've been up to recently over the past year, because I know you just did the Coast to Coast. You were featured on the Coast to Coast Live recently, and just kind of tell the fans what you up to.
Well, I mean, this week as of now, I was just featuring, of course, like you said, Coast to Coast, the DMV Life. This past year, I did shows in Richmond, of course, shows in DC. Yeah, we did Philly. Second place with Who's Up Next, with who's that? Universal.
Yeah.
I did a lot of shows recently.
So
I was
let
just
me ask you a quick question. Just off, I just want to know for my own benefit. The audiences from, say, a Philadelphia or New York or, you know, anywhere, how much do they differ from the audiences from this area, from the DC, Maryland, Virginia area?
Or do you think there's a
Oh,
difference?
you think, yeah, do you think there's a difference at all?
To be honest, it's not a difference.
Okay.
Because music critiques itself.
Right. I like that.
So it's like I keep trying to tell myself and tell
I don't know
people,
what you're talking about, man.
be yourself. So whatever you put out, people gonna like. If you like this genre of music or
right.
you like this song, somebody's gonna like it, and everybody's gonna like it because
Somebody will
it's
share your
different.
taste. Yeah.
Exactly.
It's
Absolutely.
different.
Absolutely.
You know, reggae just ain't come about just for no reason.
Right.
Rap ain't just coming about for no reason. Everybody likes music because it's different. So you can put out a song and be different, and somebody's gonna like it, and it's gonna trend. Just like when you
Right.
get a song on the radio that you hate, guarantee you
Someone
within
else
a
loves
week,
it.
not even somebody else like it. Within a week, you're gonna be rapping or singing that song.
Singing it,
Right.
yeah.
It's true. You're right. You're
It's
absolutely
just
right.
a trend.
I have that
It's
current
catchy.
dilemma with the Migos, Handsome and Wealthy. For some odd reason, that song
You
comes
too?
on
It'll
every
catch on.
day,
It'll catch
and
on.
I find myself. I got in this situation. I was like, why is it every time I get on the train and literally, y'all don't laugh at this, but every time I get on the train and I put my hand on that pole, Migos, Handsome and Wealthy comes on, and I'm like, what is it with this song? No.
When I put my hand on that phone,
I was
baby.
like, is it just me? I was like, or is it my serious
know,
radio
it
just
might
knows
just
where
be
I'm at?
you.
I'm
I
like,
mean,
you know, I'm like, what's going on? I'm like, this
Maybe
song
for-
always
It
comes
might be a
on.
serious phone. I don't know.
But
Somebody give her a phone.
that is a tool of marketing.
Exactly,
They saturate.
exactly,
They saturate the
Yeah, that's
demographic
how they
or
do it.
audience until, even if you hate something, they bang it in your head until you love it.
And you have no choice.
Right.
You have no
But,
choice.
like as for the audiences, I think it's come around a lot in the city. That's why I think it's more the same now. Because
Okay.
you know, for a long time, it was a lot of hate going
Yeah.
on. But
Oh, yeah. That's
but now,
why I
you know,
asked.
what we
Oh,
see
yeah.
more, and like, cause you know, I was doing it back in the early 2000s. You know, instead
Right.
it was rough.
So you
know,
say
so-
it basically it evolved.
Yeah,
it is much more receptive
like
to artists now than it was.
camaraderie, yeah, the whole
Okay.
scene itself. Like, you know, artists are more, you know, they work with each other more. They work together well. Everybody's not trying to knock each other
Much
down.
more collaborative.
It is some hating going on, but it's not as much. Definitely not as much as it was. So we coming to the, you know, to the levels of the other cities. That,
Now, when you
know,
say it's not as much hate going on, are you talking about here locally in DMV or just in general?
here locally in the DMV.
Okay.
Yeah.
One thing, and I will agree with that. One thing that I've noticed just being out, you know, with different artists in the community that are doing things, I noticed just here locally, I'm not sure if this is like this everywhere, but there seems to be a camaraderie in a sense of, you know, getting to a point where people are tired of struggling on their own, especially to get out of the DMV because of the fact that we are few and far between on the music scene.
We are.
You know, so people finally
underrepresented.
got the light bulb going off. Like, you know what? Instead of me over here grinding, trying to do all this work on my own, working for 20 years doing this on my own and not getting anywhere, how about I go out here with people of like mind that are going to come together and let's help do
Exactly.
this together.
Right,
you know,
right.
and so that's one thing that I actually.
So
I
is that
do
a
admire.
natural progression, or was it a thing
Not
out
all
of
of them.
necessity?
Hold on, I see why B got something to say over here. So you go
Being an
ahead. You
artist,
go
you get a
ahead.
good
Yeah, as an
perspective.
artist,
Yeah,
exactly,
yeah.
exactly.
I mean, honestly, I say it's locally. I mean, I talk to a lot of guys, like in North Carolina, in
Right.
Vegas. I have promoters and everybody reaching out to me, telling me to get out the DMV. People say vice versa. You gotta own your town, own your city in order, you know what I'm saying, to be put on. But honestly, it's like, it's both. It's really, it's really both because it's a lot of hatred, there's a lot of crap going on here. Because everybody want to make it.
Exactly.
And that's understandable.
Right.
I don't fault
Show
nobody
business,
for
of
that.
course. Everybody
You know,
wants to succeed.
Like, people know me. I don't care. I get up on stage and I would dance for the next performer
Right.
because I like his song. Or I get up there and I rock with somebody else because guess what? If you made it, I might not be next, but somebody I know might be next.
Right.
You have to keep it revolving.
Exactly.
See, that's where the hatred comes in here. Why
Right.
you look at Atlanta? A lot of them people right there, they didn't make it from Atlanta. They moved there and
Right.
generated from Atlanta. A lot of people from New York made it, yeah. Because guess what they did? They backed up each other. We don't back up each other.
See, and that's my thing that I want to say at the end of the day. It's like here DMV, I mean, how many artists can we count on one hand that have made it out of the DMV?
But is it the infrastructure? This is the heart. What I'm trying to get.
Most
at
of the
here.
people that have done it though had to leave, and
Right.
what does that
That's
mean
the
to the
question.
people
It's
that
the
still
infrastructure.
here?
How long this up? To be
Yeah,
honest,
that's
this is how I'm gonna say, this is how I feel, and this is how I'm gonna carry my life and how I'm gonna carry my music. I feel as though people are scared. They can take it how they want to take it in this interview. They can take it how they want to take it in their life. When you make it to a certain extent, you don't want to carry the DMV no more.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Nobody reps the DMV.
You drop that
make
But
bomb.
why
music.
is that? Why is that?
Because you think you got to put on for this certain person, this
But no,
white
yeah.
person, this
Right.
black person, or somebody that got these millions. Put on for who you been putting on, who got you out there. But guess what?
Exactly.
It's more poor people than rich people.
Absolutely.
It's more middle class than rich people.
Absolutely.
And those are the same ones that's going to continue to support you. The rich people ain't got to pay for shit.
Right.
That's how I feel.
Right.
So guess what? I'm going to keep on supporting my poor and my middle class because that's who's going to support me. So if you don't want to put on for the DMV, fuck you. That's how I feel. I'm going to put on for the DMV.
So
And that's say no more.
So YB, hold on. So I like where you went with that. So YB, do you feel like infrastructure at all? Because when you talk about like the artists, that's what they do. They get money, they get exposure, and the first thing you do, you drop the DMV moniker. I'm not from there. I'm from wherever I am. Not from where
Maryland,
I
West
am.
Virginia, Atlanta,
Right.
Florida,
Right.
whoever.
Right.
I mean, that goes for any artist. They feel some certain way.
But if you
that-
go to
that's
New
just how I
York,
feel.
if you go to New York, for instance, just for an example, and you're trying to make it in the music industry, there's so many outlets. I mean, there's so many outlets in order for someone to at least attempt to get on, right?
Yeah.
As opposed to come down here, aren't you much more limited, or is that the case?
Bro, I can go to Honolulu. My birth certificate say DC. It doesn't make a difference. It's where you from, not where you went or where
Right,
you going.
right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I can go to New York, and guess what? Everybody in New York can love me and put me on. And I make millions.
Right,
But this is where I'm from.
right,
This is where I'm birthed.
right.
My people need me.
I agree.
So what do you do music for? If you a selfish nigga and you want to do music for yourself and that's it, I respect that. Say that. But don't get on music and rap beats talking about DMV, DC this, DC that, and then when you get to this certain extent, it's no more DC.
right. So I guess no, I agree.
That's
with
just
you on
like
the
saying
artist.
I'm a killer, then all of a sudden it's God,
I'm a
Jesus,
pacifist.
and walk
Right,
away.
right. I'm
Come on.
saved, born again. I guess my thing is, I guess the heart of what I'm trying to get, and this goes for you. I want
Yeah.
chime in. The heart of what I'm trying to get at is, are people basically straying away from the DMV because there's just not a lot of talent that comes out of this area, so it's not no recognition, or is it the lack of honestly structure? There's no real support. There's no real system in place that will propel you to the next level from this area.
They trying to build it up now. It's a lot of cats out there that's doing a lot now. It's a lot of more venues out there
Oh,
that's
yeah.
coming up. Shout out to Big Lil and Hammer. You know,
Right.
they do their open mics. People like Eddie Kane, people like Bishop Twine that do and really try to propel artists to that next level because they see that it's a lot of artists here and a lot of talent in the city that's been overlooked for a long time. So I mean, I think it's definitely coming around. And
Right.
Well, I got a question, Super Dave. Do you think the backlash against DMV in general is that people outside of the DMV feel like the DMV sound is kind of homogenized, like everyone sounds the same here?
I mean, I could see that. Yeah, definitely. I don't know if that. I
But you
think
can say
has a
that for
lot to
any
do
city
with-
too, because
Yeah,
most of the
right.
people from Atlanta, they
Sound
sound
like they
similar.
from Atlanta.
People from
Yeah,
Miami
that's true.
sound similar.
West
People from
Coast side,
Cali,
they-
exactly,
Yeah,
exactly.
The
But
difference is they stick together.
Yeah,
true,
they
that's
built
the
up their-
problem. So what
they-
is it with
they made
DMV
their
people
sound
that
out.
we are not sticking together? What is the main root to the problem that
That's what I'm
we are
saying.
not
Is the
supporting
culprit,
each
is
other?
the industry where we are, or is it just like you said, just the artists who just have no loyalty? Which is it?
What is it?
It's
Look,
a
you
little
got
bit-
New York over top, you got Atlanta down bottom. Where's DC at? In the middle.
Right.
So we're crabs. So where you gonna go? If you gonna go down or you gonna go up?
True.
But you
Right.
gonna stick together because you wanna make it. That's
Right.
how I feel. People might think I'm psychotic or whatever.
No,
I don't think
I
about that.
actually I think
Look,
you're
that's
right
how-
on the
little
that's
bit,
how-
little bit
that-
psychotic.
At the Entourage Hour Fridays, each and every Friday from 9 to 10 p.m. So we're back with Young Boss over here, and we're just going to talk about some of the songs and what he's kind of doing here on the music scene. And Young Boss, would you like to introduce the first song that we're gonna be playing tonight?
First song will be my single, Wow.
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 I like that. Wow.
And tell us a little bit about Wow. What's Wow?
The inspiration, everything. Let me know about wow.
Wow is everything.
Okay.
Wow.
I don't care what you think, what you look, what you see, what you smell. It's wow.
It's wow.
We got the Wow crew behind us over here.
Wow. Wowing out right now.
I mean, that's just how it is. But I got inspired because I did a show in Richmond. And like I said, I hate to lose.
Right.
And I feel as though I was one of the best because I love to entertain.
What is it, a competition?
It was
or?
a competition.
Okay.
I love to entertain. So I perform. I entertain.
Well, how many people, just give me, how many people roughly?
On stage when he's performing?
No, that was part of the
I was
competition.
gonna say, because he rolls deep. I've seen him perform.
How many people were involved in the competition? Just to
It's
give our
probably
viewers a little bit.
12 to 15.
Okay, alright.
So, you
So
know,
at least a dozen people you were going up against there. And what was your inspiration for Wildhead?
it was just like I seen how the crowd reacted to other music.
And you
So it
adapted.
was like, yeah, basically I adapted to it.
Okay.
Like, okay, so this is what people like to see. This is what people like to hear. You know, so it was like, okay, so let me mix this into what I can do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
So you entertain. Wow, that's
Yeah, he already
that's
had that.
a
Exactly,
wild
wow,
concept.
exactly.
yeah,
That's-
I
that's
went
an
home,
amazing
I went home,
concept.
to be honest, this is how it all came down with no beat, no nothing. I went
Okay.
home and I was like, wow. You know, I was like, damn, you know what? I'm gonna start the song off like, wow.
Right.
You know, but I was like, damn, always, they was like, damn, you be turned up. And I was like, okay. So I'm gonna be like, I'm turned up, wow. I was like, you know what? Wow. I'm turned up. So it was like, damn, she turned out. What else I gonna do? I like to drink, I like to smoke, and I was just going with
Right.
it. And then as it came along, it was like I found the beat. And I was like, damn, this beat go exactly with it, and everything just fell in place.
Organically, all just flowed
Organic,
just from
natural, off the earth. It was just like,
Right.
this is how I feel, this is what I want to do. It's just,
right. So that
I
was a
wanna
little
see,
bit of marketing savvy right there,
Yeah,
right? Because
definitely.
you saw what your demographic that you were appealing to, what they wanted.
Right.
You saw what they liked, and you decided, let me go ahead and reformat what I'm putting out in order to feed them, which will in turn feed me.
Supply and demand.
Exactly.
Right, supply and demand.
It
Most
worked-
basic
it
principles in
worked
the
out.
economy.
Like,
Absolutely.
it worked out, to be honest with you. It's probably like the best single I done put out.
And this was you did this first at this competition.
I didn't do it at the competition.
You made it at the
I
competition.
made
You
it.
came with the concept.
So I
of
made
it.
it on the way home
Got
after the
you,
competition.
got you,
Yeah, like-
After I
got you.
seen it, I don't know. I was so.
Distraught by losing.
It don't even look like we killed it too, but he just hard on himself.
Right.
But I will say like the,
Right.
it's a certain element of excitement that he conveys, and that's one of the things that made me want to work with him. Like
Right.
you saying, perform. As a matter of fact, we did a show at the Den.
Okay.
And it's like he's doing like we had 3 singles at that time. He's doing them, and everybody's rocking except for this one dude is like standing on the wall like mugging. So he peeped it in the first song. I seen him looking at the dude. So you know,
And he's
so
concerned
after the
about that
song,
one person.
So he walks over. This is like when I really saw the flare come out of it.
Right.
He walks over, stands beside the dude rapping this song. The guy couldn't help but like get
Right,
into
get
it,
into
and
it,
get
right?
excited, just to have that sense to be able to pick out that one
Entertainment.
person and create.
Somebody
a moment.
wasn't having fun at my show.
Exactly.
I targeted him. Now you're having fun.
Exactly, create a moment. That's what I tell all my artists.
That's what I
Create
say.
a
It's
moment.
just not being scared. It's being different.
Yeah.
Like the reach
Getting
out
out
got to
there.
be different. Like I don't care if you there with your dude, his brother, and your father. Guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna run up on you in front of them, and I'm gonna shake. I'm gonna do something to get you to dance.
Right.
Because guess what? They're gonna laugh.
Right.
It's all about entertaining.
Absolutely.
It's all about entertainment.
I like
Nobody
your
want to
music
understand
perspective.
lyrics unless you entertain the lyrics.
We've had a lot of artists on here, but a lot of them have, but not most of them. I would say less than half of them have come from the perspective of I'm just trying to entertain.
Yeah.
That hasn't been. I'm sorry, that just hasn't been
I
the
would
case.
disagree with that.
Okay.
I think we have had a good group of people on here that
We have.
actually they are similar in the respect that they're true to their craft because they believe in what they're doing and they're trying to stand apart and set themselves apart from what we would see as this homogenized DMV sound. So
king, so
I know, I already know, I already
See,
know.
I don't
Like
think,
said,
I don't
like
think
I
they're
said.
necessarily a
Right.
bad artist if you're not catering for entertainment. Because I mean, at the end of the day, a lot of people come into this business to what? To be successful. I mean, you do anything to be successful. You don't do anything to fail. I don't think anybody sets out to fail. I mean, there are a few people who do it, but the majority of us do something to succeed. So, in my opinion, you know, I think a lot of people they go in it not from really an entertainment perspective, but more of this is the music that I like. This is the music that I think that you like, and I'm gonna promote my sound and what I think should be out there because I think the other music doesn't hold account to what I do.
But one thing I'll say about Young Boss, YB, seeing him perform is you are definitely going to recognize who he is as an artist. The very first time before I even knew who he was, I think I was at a show at Axum Lounge, and it was either Axum Lounge or Live right here in DC. And all I know is when he went on to do his hit single Wow, it was probably it seemed to me at that moment, about 20 deep on the stage. Right. And the song was so boisterous and just so catchy and just you couldn't help it. It's like I stopped immediately what I was doing. I was like, damn, the whole floor is shaking in the club. Like literally the whole floor was shaking. Right. You know what I mean? And I was just excited from that point on. Like you don't see many artists that go all in or go hard for their craft like that. You see some jokers that get up on stage. They got a little rinky-dink presence. They ain't even engaging with the crowd or their fans. Right. Got their backs turned to the fans, not even engaging with nobody. And here this person is coming out in the middle of the floor, going to the fans personally, coming with his turn-up crew. You know what I'm saying? But and see, it's something that I think to look forward to. I
agree. And we had a conversation about this maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago. You have these artists like Beyonce or Usher. Those people are really good at performing. And why do they continuously make money? Why are they so successful? They make all this money on tour every year, regardless of what the album sells do. They live off of the tour. Yeah. They eat off of the tour. Why is that? Because they can pack stadiums full of people. Because people come to see them do whatever it is they do. They come to be entertained.
They take time to create their
everybody can't do that. Absolutely. Everybody doesn't have the ability to go somewhere and entertain.
Or be Michael Jackson.
Right.
So, Young Boss, Super Dave, would y'all like to tell the fans what we're looking forward to with 2015, Say No More Entertainment, what music, singles we got coming out, where the fans can check you, your social media sites, web pages, etc. before we go?
Sure.
Yeah. Just trying to take over, trying to do everything, and be everywhere. You're going to see our faces in a lot of places coming up in 2015. Killing the promotion right now, if I do say so myself. Okay. So the single is moving, and YB, as soon as we ready, we out there.
What's the next single coming out, YB?
Well, right now, of course, everybody know I'm pushing Wow. I have, of course, another single that's on the internet. It's called On Everything. I have a song that I have in the mix that I'm just holding tight for 2015. It's called Ooh Wee. It's for the ladies. You know what I'm saying? To dance and shit. Okay. Okay. And I have another one in the cut that I'm not going to miss. Mention.
Keep us guessing.
As anyone can go see any of the music that you have ready right now?
Oh yeah, we definitely have. We're on. What are we on? His mixtape is on that Piff. Our whole team is on that Piff.
Reverb Nation.
Reverb Nation. We're on SoundCloud. We're on everywhere. You can just search Young Boss. It'll come up. Search Wow on YouTube.
Shazam.
Does Young Boss spell like it sounds? Or
it spell exactly how it sounds. We made it very easy.
Keep it simple.
Wow is on everywhere you can buy music online. Wow is on there from Amazon, iTunes, all of that. We're pushing it. That and the single that we put out earlier called Stunt Flex. They're both out there. Doing pretty well. We got people in Europe, Russia, band.
Wow. Russia.
Wow.
Yeah, they got a following in Russia. So shout out to all the Russians that's turning up to Young Boss right now.
That's what's up.
So yeah.
Well, I just want to thank y'all for coming on the show tonight, and we look forward to hearing everything that you guys got coming out. We've been following along with everything. And I just really appreciate y'all coming through and just doing what you do. So we look forward to seeing y'all again.
Thank you. You guys were great guests.
Y'all
appreciate it. You got to come back.
Bobby, would you like to end with anything?
Nah, at all. Nah.
Just drop the mic on home. That's
Check
it.
that Wow out on YouTube. Check the Wow video on YouTube. Trust me, you will not be disappointed.
Check them out.
I am who I am.
Boss Therapy on that Piff.
That Piff.
Yeah. That Piff, the mixtape is called Boss Therapy. You can search Young Boss Therapy on that Piff. He's out there. Check him out. Next time you hear him perform and come to see it, you will not know Young Boss until you see him perform. Nobody performs like this dude. Like I said, the most electrifying dude I've seen in a long time. So
excellent.
Check it out.
All right. Well, y'all, thank you for coming through.
Thank you so much for coming through.
Before
back.
we go, we are going to get into our last closing segment here. And let's see here. Do we want to cue the Bach? All right, so we're going to go into our Abrasive Black Man segment with my host here, Damon Austin, and I'll let him go ahead and set up what he's going to be talking about tonight.
All right. Every week I do an Abrasive Black Man segment where I comment on a particular topic that's important to me or something that just generally just makes me angry. And this week I want to talk about false equivalencies. And I know you're like, oh my God, what the hell are you talking about? False equivalence, big word. It's real simple. If someone, give a wild example, if someone robs a bank and then someone robs a grocery store, to give a false equivalent of that person somehow committing the same crime, to me, is ludicrous. And I know you're thinking like, what the hell is he even coming with this? And I'm not trying to stir any racial tension or anything like that, or whatever like that. But take Ferguson, take Trayvon Martin, and it's not about the racial aspect of it, it's about the false equivalency of it. I got into a discussion today online with one of my dear friends from high school, and he was talking about the Ferguson and the Trayvon thing or whatnot. And his perspective was that both of these individuals made terrible mistakes that cost them their lives. Now, I'm not going to comment on the mistakes of Trayvon or this other boy, Michael Brown, but what I will say is it's some bullshit with false equivalence. For instance, the boy Trayvon Martin walking home in the dark, in the rain, from buying a pack of Skittles, everybody's like, oh, well, he was smoking weed and he was on that, all that shit, it doesn't even matter. He was walking home in his own neighborhood. You do not get to say that the man who followed him home for roughly 2-3 blocks somehow made the same mistake that Trayvon made by thinking this guy was going to do him harm and jumping out on him, thinking that he made the exact same mistake, and so they're both somehow at fault. To me, that's a false equivalent. It is. The thing with Michael Brown, this boy robs a liquor store, a convenience store for some Swisher Sweets. Now, after the shooting, the very next day, they released the footage of him robbing this liquor store or this convenience store. This was to demonize him because in their eyes, they already knew. When I say they, I mean the police department that is in Missouri, okay? They already knew that they were going to take flack for this. So what did they do? They sent out that false equivalent. Well, you can't be too mad about it because, look, the dude is robbing a convenience store. He's obviously a thug and an animal. He's a bad guy. He's crazy. Obviously, forget the fact that the cop had no clue of his actions before meeting him. He had no idea this boy did this. So, but we want to go ahead and demonize him because it kind of feeds into that whole stereotype of, well, he was bad anyway, so he was bad. Justification. That's all it comes down to. It's just simple justification. At the end of the day, people, regardless what this boy did, even if the boy had killed the guy in the store, I'm saying he killed the guy in the store, say he choked the Asian dude out and killed him. Say the cop even knew it. At the end of the day, when you running away and you throw your hands up and you're not armed, it is against the law to shoot someone. It does not meet the merits for lethal force. That is the false equivalency that I'm talking about right here. You can't say that, oh, well, the cop was, he was reaching for his gun and the cop, that's bullshit. I worked in an armed capacity for over a decade. That cop was right-handed, okay? The cop, Darren Wilson, he was right-handed. If you're sitting in a vehicle, that firearm is on your right side. Now, I don't know about you, but it's almost impossible to reach inside someone's car and over there where their seatbelt is. It's almost like taking off someone's seatbelt and thinking you actually coming away with the weapon. What are y'all saying? He was smoking crack? I mean, you know what I'm saying? I just don't get it. The notion that, oh, he was a thug, so he obviously attacked this guy because, he obviously robbed that convenience store owner, so that makes him a thug. Regardless if he was a thug or not. Most thugs, guess what? They run from the cops. They don't go looking for the cops. Yes. And the only time you see a thug actually trying to combat a cop is if they got a gun because they already know the cop is armed. So I'm not going to try to get into a fight that I can't win. And since the boy wasn't armed, what logical reason would we have had to sit up there and try to get the cop's gun? I mean, it just doesn't make sense. So that'll do it for tonight, everybody. That was my Abrasive Black Man moment. That's what I'm mad about this week, and I hope you're mad about it too.
We want y'all to stay tuned next week. Like I said, Fridays 9 to 10 p.m. WLVS Radio. That's at www.listenvision.com. www.listenvision.com. Or you can check us out on www.listenvisionlive.com, where you can see the live broadcast, because it's radio that is broadcast globally. Thank you all and have a good night.
First Lady, that's right. Thank you very much. Good job, guys. Good job.